Hi, it's time to introduce another battle book. So today I'm going to be introducing you to the book, The Girl Who Drank the Moon. And it is such a good book, beautifully written, is mystical, has some magical elements, has really interesting characters, kind of takes you into this whole other world, and has a little bit of a dark side as well. It has that title that just captivates you, and immediately upon seeing it, you want to know what the book is about. It's a really, really, really good read. So pick it up at the bookstore, take it out of the library, and then let me know so we can discuss it. But first, let me try to get you into this book. So the first chapter is an interesting one because it's all in italics. The first chapter is called In Which a Story is Told. And it's all in italics, and the reason that is so is because, you'll hear it once I start reading it out loud, the mother is the one speaking. The mother is talking to a child, her child, and even though you can't hear the child's voice, even though you don't know what the child is saying, based on what the mother is saying, you know exactly what the child has just asked. And the questions that the child has are kind of driving the mother up the wall a little bit. And like there's just been too many questions. And you'll see that as she talks to the child. So the whole time that I'm reading right now in this chapter, I am the mother. And again, you don't hear the voices of you don't hear the voice of the child at all. But you can almost in your head hear the voice of the child. So, yes. Yes, there's a witch in the woods. There's always been a witch. Oh, will you stop? You're fidgeting for once. My stars, I have never seen such a fidgety child. No, sweetheart. I have not seen her. No one has. Not for ages. We've taken steps so that we will never, ever see her. Terrible steps. Don't make me say it. You already know anyway. You already know. Oh, I don't know, darling. No one knows why she wants children. We don't know why she insists that it must always be the very youngest among us. It's not as though we could just ask her. She hasn't been seen. We make sure that she will not be seen. Of course she exists. What a question. Look at the woods. So dangerous. Poisonous smoke and sinkholes and boiling geysers and terrible dangers every which way. Do you think it is by accident? Rubbish. It was the witch. And if we don't do as she says, what will become of us? You really need me to explain it. I'd rather not. No, Oh, hush now. Don't cry. It's not as though the Council of Elders is coming for you. Now, is it? You're far too old. From our family? Yes, dearest. Ever so long ago, before you were born. He was a beautiful boy. Now finish your supper and see to your chores. We'll all be up early tomorrow. The day of sacrifice waits for no one, and we must all be present to thank the child who will save us for one more year. Your brother? How could I have fought for him? If I had, the witch would have killed us all, and then where would we be? Sacrifice one or sacrifice all. That is the way of the world. We couldn't change it, even if we tried. Oh, enough questions. Off with you, fool child. So it does have a dark side to it. I don't know if you could tell from the book's first chapter, but there is this child sacrifice. And every year, a child, the youngest child in the community, needs to be sacrificed in order to save the rest of the community. And I'm going to give you a spoiler because this is definitely a hard idea to swallow. The spoiler alert is that this baby who is sacrificed is not actually sacrificed in the beginning of the book. She is saved, but and thank goodness. I think it would have been really hard for me to read if I knew that there was a baby sacrifice in the first opening, like the opening part of the book. But like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful book with a little bit of a dark side. But for the most part, it's an adventure story, and it is one of those page-turning books. I'm going to read the back cover for you. Every year, the people of the Protectorate leave a baby as an offering to the witch who lives in the forest to keep her from terrorizing their town. But the witch, Zan, is really kind and gentle. She shares her home with a wise swamp monster and a perfectly tiny dragon. By the way, the perfectly tiny dragon is adorable. Zan rescues the children and delivers them to welcoming families on the other side of the forest. One year, Zan accidentally feeds a baby Moonlight, filling the ordinary child with extraordinary magic. Zan decides she must raise this girl, whom she calls Luna, as her own. As Luna's 13th birthday approaches, her magic begins to emerge with unpredictable consequences just when it's time for Zan to go collect another child. Meanwhile, a young man determined to free his people by killing the witch. A young man is determined to free his people by killing the witch because he knows what everyone else thinks she is, which is awful. But she's not. She's really kind. And a volcano, dormant for centuries, rumbles within the earth. So there's your book cover. And if you look closely, you see some origami, a little bird. And there is a trail of them coming down towards her. There's a little dragon. This is Luna. There's the big moon, the girl who drank the moon. It did win an award. That's always a good sign. It's impossible to put down, says the New York Times Book Review. All right, so pick up a copy and then let me know when you start reading it so I can talk to you about it. Happy reading.